radio for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network.
I need your help to get to the year 1985.
You're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Good evening, Fade to Black. Bespoke radio for the masses. Yeah, man. Today's Thursday, April 28th, 2022. That's right. Let's do this, man. For KJCR, the Game Changer, and UNX Networks, Race Hobbs, I am your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight is another Fader night with open lines all night long. The call-in number is 747-228-2051. Uncensored, unscreened, unfiltered. That's right. All of that. Your conversation. UFOs, the paranormal, supernatural, lost history, conspiracy, music, food, whatever you want to talk about. That's right. My favorite night of the week, kicking off tonight, it is Fader Night, 747-228-2051. All right. Let's get ready. It's going to be a great night. I'm in a great mood. Had a great day today. More on that in just a bit. Coming up, I'll be speaking at the X Conference, May 13th and 14th. That's right. It's coming up in 2 weeks. I'll be speaking on Friday night. This is an online-only event. Just go to unxnetwork.com for all the information that you need, who's going to be speaking, what, when, where, all of that stuff. I will also be hosting Disclosure Fest coming up, and we're already, we're at the end of April. We're into May. And so I'm going to officially say this is next month, June 18th, 2022 at the Los Angeles State Historic Park, right there in downtown Los Angeles. Just go to disclosurefest.org for tickets and info. It's a huge event. And then coming up this October, I will be in Egypt with Billy Carson, and space is very limited. I want you to visit forbiddenknowledge.com for the complete schedule and information. Links for everything is in the description box below on YouTube. It's over on our website, jimmychurchradio.com. It's on social media. So all the information that you need is right there. Visit our sponsors and everything else. We've got everything over at jimmychurchradio.com. You can follow me on Twitter right now, and you should, at J Church Radio. And crazy day on Twitter, man. Geez. Yeah. It's a crazy world, isn't it? And follow me on Twitter at J Church Radio. Hashtag F2B is the sandbox. It's live right in front of me. You can come and hang out with the Fadernauts right there. I use TweetDeck. TweetDeck is so cool. And come and hang out with us. Twitter is live to my right. And any questions or comments tonight or any other show, hashtag F2BQ. Earlier today, I was on with Christina Gomez, right? Histories with the Mystery. And we were doing Brazil, UFOs cases in Brazil today. Great show. Fantastic show, and really had a good time. And right before the show started, Christina and I were, just chatting really quick. And during the conversation, I heard it was just loud and sounded like a jet a few feet above the house. It was shaking. And I was like, what? And I left Christina on the screen. I was like, man, I got to go see this. And I ran out the front door. I probably should have run out the back door. But I ran out and it was loud. And it lasted for 30 seconds, maybe a minute. And I looked and I didn't see it. So maybe it turned, it launched off the runway and turned that way. And my house was blocking it. I didn't see it, but it was loud. I mean, shaking things. It was crazy, like earthquake and deafening. It was nuts. And then something else happened right after that, and had nothing to do with things flying around in the sky. And I'm going to talk about that in just a minute because it really brightened my day. And it's very interesting. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to hold off on that. I'm going to hold off. Let's get to the breaking news. Small rocket builder Rocket Lab USA Inc. is gearing up for a mission that seems to be, more appropriate for a big budget action movie, catching a falling 4-story tall rocket booster with a helicopter. That is so James Bond. The Long Beach, California company is trying to slash the cost of space flight by reusing its rockets. And, SpaceX and Elon has been doing this for a while now. But unlike SpaceX reusable 2-stage rocket Falcon 9, which reignites its engines and lands back on Earth, Rocket Lab is going to take a helicopter with 2 pilots and pluck this 40-foot tall booster stage from midair using a combination of ropes, parachutes, and a heat shield. The capture test is due to take place off the coast of Mahia, New Zealand. The location of Rocket Lab's primary launch site at 3:35 p.m. Pacific time tomorrow, Friday. Now, you can watch the event live. I'm going to. And to watch it live, just go to rocketlabusa.com 20 minutes before the launch. If you go to rocketlabsusa.com right now, you can see it right there on the homepage. Scroll down right there, see the streaming event, click on that, and it's going to tell you 20 minutes before launch, this page goes live. But you can go and check it out, bookmark it. And 3:35 p.m. Pacific time tomorrow afternoon. All right. That's going to be really cool to watch. And doing these live events, man, I just watched, what was that called? Plane swap plane, Red Bull's plane swap. And that was nuts. And when was that? That was like Sunday, right? Sunday afternoon. That was pretty nuts. Okay. Well, other breaking news. Yesterday morning, onlookers watched a ball of fire streaking across southeastern skies. That's because at around 9:03 a.m. Eastern Time Wednesday, over 30 people from Arkansas, Louisiana, and Mississippi reported looking up and seeing a fireball in the sky. Soon after, people across southern Mississippi reporting hearing a loud boom. The explosive sound came from a fiery meteor barreling through Earth's atmosphere at 55,000 miles per hour, generating an energy equivalent of 3 tons of TNT as it broke apart, creating shock waves that reached the ground and made that loud sonic boom. All of this according to NASA. Scientists think that the object was an asteroid only measuring about 1 foot, the size of a basketball, when it disintegrated about 34 miles above a swampy region of Louisiana, north of the town of Menorca. Crazy. Now, check this out. China. Yeah, all right. I start off the news. China will complete more than 60, that's a 6 and a 0, 60 space launches in 2022. China completed 55 successful launch missions in 2021, setting the current world record. However, the country is now planning to break its own record. Among the 60 planned launches for 2022 are 6 crewed missions to complete the construction of China's Tiangong space station. Tiangong means heavenly palace. Once completed, the massive space station will consist of 3 modules, and one was launched back in May of last year. And this maiden module will be the space station's core module and the main habitat for up to 6 resident astronauts. The first of the 6 Tiangong missions will resupply the Tiana module. That's what it's called, the Tiana. That's the main module via the Tianzhou 4 cargo spacecraft, which is scheduled to launch next month. Now, check this out. Then in June, China will launch 3 astronauts to the Tiana module for 6 months. During this time, the astronauts will prepare for the arrival in June and another in October of the remaining 2 modules needed to complete the massive space station. All of this going down this year. Nuts. Let's get this show cracking. On this day in history, 1789, mutiny on the Bounty. Led by Master's mate, Captain William Bligh and 18 of his loyal supporters were set adrift in a small, 23-foot, tiny, open boat. Bligh and his men reached the East Indies on June 4th after a 6-week nightmare voyage of about 3,600 miles. That's right. And you know what? Check this out. William Bligh, man, Captain Bligh, that was his first mutiny. Dude had 3. He had 2 more coming. I guess he just wasn't that fun to be around. Fader fact. Now check this out. Do you shop at Safeway? Safeway supermarkets? Right? You probably have. Now check out this Fader fact. S.M. Skaggs, the founder of Safeway supermarkets, was a preacher. He was. And he felt that credit and using credit for purchases was evil. And he named his cash and carry stores to promote the safe way to shop. Safeway. Bet you didn't know that. And that is your Fader fact. You know, it was done during, the Great Depression, right? And people using credit to buy food going further in debt. And he was like, no, that's not the way to go. Just buy what you can afford. Come in, pay cash, no credit here. It's the safe way to shop. Yeah. And that is your Fader fact, William Bligh, right there. 60 launches, I know, right? Yeah, absolutely crazy. Tonight is another Fader night with open lines all night long. That's right. The call-in number is 747-228-2051. River Moon Coffee. Man, oh, man. Oh, how can stuff be this good? Rivermoonwellness.com. I like my coffee, Doc. I do. And I want to talk to you about a couple things, a couple of fun things. Number one, and today it was just awesomely cool. I have hummingbird feeders in the front and the back of the house. And next to the hummingbird feeders, tables, chairs, stuff like that, in both patios. And I have handheld, they're round, they're about this big, handheld hummingbird feeders. And, you put your nectar in there. It's got it's a red cap, a plastic bottom with a yellow flower on the top. You just hold it in your hand. And so I got these couple of months ago, and over the last month or so, I've been training these hummingbirds. And what ends up happening with this is when I first got them, hummingbird feeders, when you put them out, you put them out for the first time, it kind of takes a minute, and you're looking at, just stay with me here. Oh, wow, look at that. That was strange. Okay, I'm just going to let that go for now. Phone system lit up weird. And so the hummingbird feeders, when you put them out, the hummingbirds, it takes like a day. They figure it out really quick. Handheld, that's a whole nother thing. And so I'm out there. Hummingbirds are coming into the other feeders. I'd stand up with the handheld, no. And I've been training them. I'm cool. It's okay. Right. I mean, I could be said anyway. So over the last week or so, it took like one hummingbird to figure this out, to figure out what's going on. And I was standing out there, and I just wait for him to come in, and I'm just standing next to the feeder with my arm out, right, just like this. And instead of going to the feeder, they would come in and just hover in front of me, look right in my eyeballs, man, right, doing their thing, but they wouldn't, right? And they got closer, and now over the last week, I had my first dude last week come up and like took a nip. It just came up, tapped it, and flew away. That's all it took. I don't know the communication. Hey man, you got to go back. That dude is holding this thing. Let's go. It's right there. And today, I was just out there, just one after another. And I'm walking. I have a big tree, and I can hear the hummingbirds up in the tree. They got a very unique little chirp that they do. It's really funny. And I know there's 25 or 30 up there just creating havoc. I'm walking around the bottom of the tree, just doing my thing, and coming down out of the tree. So much fun. I gotta say, man, it'll freak you out at first. Jump back. Whoa. But if you're cool, right? And now I've got this down. Hummingbird, handheld. And if you've got a hummingbird feeder and you've got hummingbirds, just go. Just get yourself a little handheld and go. Just amazing. So anyway, today it was just out of control. Okay, so why did I say? Oh, that involved a whole thing with Christina Gomez. Okay, so anyway, where am I at? Last year, I like guitars, right? And I play guitar. And there you go. That's what I'm talking about. Hummingbird feeders, handheld. It's crazy. Oh, these are great. I missed all of this. You guys have been posting. I'm telling you, man, hummingbirds are a trip. Last year, I bought a guitar for $150, and it was a Squire Mini Strat. Now, Squire is the Chinese division of Fender guitars, right? Okay, and there's all kinds of Fenders hanging behind me here. And but that's the Chinese, and inexpensive, really inexpensive. And so I bought this is a Strat right here, right? This is a Strat. In fact, it was this color. So I buy a mini version of one of those. It's like this big. And $150. And it was a limited edition $150 guitar, limited edition, right? In vintage white. And that's vintage white right there. It was painted in that color. So I got it because it matched, but it said Squire on the headstock instead of Fender. All right, whatever. Okay, a Chinese Squire Mini, 2 feet long, basically made for kids who are going to play it once and forget about it, put it in the bottom of their toy box and stack Legos on top of it. I get it. That's what this guitar is. It's a $150 Chinese Squire Strat. Limited edition in vintage white, right? So I hang it on the wall. And it looked cool, So, who doesn't need a vintage white mini Strat, right? So I grabbed one, hang it on the wall, and it's just looking at me all the time. And I had to do something with it. I wanted to make it really, really special. And I just thought to myself, what do I do? How do I take this $150 guitar and make it cool? So I decided to go for it. Now, and this is what I did. This is a perfect Strat. This is 74, right? Okay, this is called a tremolo, right? It's got an arm. This wasn't on the vintage or this mini Strat, right? This color, it's got 2 knobs on it. It's really tiny. This is, full size. And this has got Ingve pickups in it. This has got custom fret wire. It's called Dunlop 6100 that I had added. This is a vintage 6-hole trem. This has a CTM pot installed. And on the back, it's routed. Okay, it's a hole there for this. Okay, but not on this mini Strat. I wanted to turn the mini Strat into this. So I call up Pat Wilkins and I said, man, I got this $150 Squire. I want to take it and route it for a trem. He goes, what? I said, yeah. And I'm going to call Seymour Duncan. I'm going to get Ingve pickups. Okay. I want to take these cheap Chinese frets out. I want to put Dunlop 6100s in. Why? I said, I'm not done. I want the nut removed. I want a Graph Tech put in. I want locking tuners on the top. I want to have the fenders. I want to have the Squire logo removed, and I want to put a Fender logo on the top. I want to put CTS pots in it. I want vintage caps, and I want braided wire. He goes, dude, it's $1,000 for a $150 guitar. And I said, yes. All right. Think you're nuts. It's this big. So I took the guitar to Pat Wilkins, and he's been working on it for 3 months. And today, he sent me the picture. It's done. I will have it here next week. And there it is. Can you see it? That is a 2-foot tall $150 guitar with $1,000 in parts. And Pat, who's the best builder in the country, there's no question about it, best painter. He's got it painted the flames, a bunch of guitars in here. And I said, how's it play? And he goes like butter. I said, really? He goes, Jimmy, this guitar is perfect. I said, it was a challenge. And I knew that you could do this. And it got you outside of your comfort zone. He said, it did. He said, Jimmy, this has just been so rewarding and the process. But the guitar is done. And that happened after the Hummingbirds. I was already in a great mood, right? It happened after the jet flyover and the show with Christina. Just a wonderful day. And then that. And Pat and I talked on the phone. I've already reached out to Fender to let them know that the guitar is finished. I've let Seymour Duncan know that the guitar is finished. And who would have thought that, like, the most famous Fender Strat to be built in 2022 is a $150 Squire Strat. And it's going to be great. So next month, Yngwie is coming to town. And he's going to play this guitar and sign it. And so I'll shoot a video of all of that. That's going down May 20th. And very excited about all of this. It's just been like the coolest day ever. And so after I hung up, I spoke to James Fox from Paul Reed Smith and sent him the pictures too as well. And, you know, I'm on cloud nine and reaching out to everybody to let them know what's going on. And I told Fox, I said, look, let's talk tomorrow. I've got Fader Night. I've got Fader Night tonight. How perfect of a day can this be? And there you go. All right, so I'm ready. It's Fader Night. It's Thursday. It's your calls. It's your conversation. It's open lines all night long. 747-228-2051. I haven't posted pictures yet on the web. I'm going to wait for the guitar to get here and then assemble a video, because we shot video already of the guitar before, and now we're going to do everything after and do all of this, and then push this out on social media for Fender and Pat Wilkins, Seymour Duncan, and everybody else that was involved in this project. Absolutely crazy. So you'll see and hear the guitar next week. I am your host, Jimmy Church. This is Fade to Black. It is Thursday night. It is Fader Night with open lines all night long. I'll be right back after this short break with your phone calls. Stay with us.
This is Nicole Church, daughter of you-know-who, and you're listening to Fade to Black on JimmyChurchRadio.com and the Game Changer Network.
You're listening to Jimmy Church and Fade to Black on the X.
You're listening to Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
Fade to Black will now pause for alien identification.
The station that talks the net.
Introducing the Game Changer blend from Rivermoon Coffee that delivers a customized blend made specifically for the Fadernauts. If the game is rigged, change the game. It's a bolder cup with some bite. Game Changer is the coffee of choice for those that prefer an organic dark roast that is slightly lighter and milder, but it's still dark. With wild notes of pecans and chocolate, with a rich, balanced, full-bodied cup that is roasted to perfection for a great coffee to start your day, as an after-dinner coffee or anywhere in between. Artisan, small batch, roasted to perfection. USDA certified organic, all Rivermoon coffee is freshly roasted and packaged in the USA. Just go to rivermooncoffee.com or click on the banners over on our site and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. rivermooncoffee.com.
This is the only way forward.
This is Fade to Black. Make contact.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can get our podcast for just $2 per month. All you have to do is click on the podcast banner over at jimmychurchradio.com.
Do you have an interest in the paranormal? Then you'll love the unxnetwork.com. The X is your streaming audio and video for everything supernatural, strange, and mysterious, like UFOs, Bigfoot, ghosts, and so much more. From hosts like Jimmy Church, Whitley Strieber, Micah Hanks, and Christina Gomez. Visit the unxnetwork.com show page for a complete list of all the paranormal programs you'll find on the X. Be sure to follow us on Twitter for updates at KUNXDB. Follow our Facebook group, UnX Network. Find the podcast on Spotify, iHeart, Audible, and Apple Podcast. It's time. It's new. It's the X.
9 out of 10 geneticists agree.
Fade to Black is not your father's radio show on the Game Changer Radio Network.
Hi, this is Rob Reiner from Anvil, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
What's up? I'm Chris. What up? This is Kyle Manson. You're listening to Jimmy Church Radio.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Man, I got some weirdness going on with the phone system tonight. Yeah. The alternative computer is goofing up. I don't know what's happening. Okay. So let's see here. Yeah, that's bizarre. 747-228-2051. 747-228-2051. And I'm going to try this here. There is something funky going on. Okay. All right. Now I think this is fine on this computer. Why isn't it working on the other one? This is not what I want to do tonight. I don't want to do it backwards. We've got it set up the other way. All right. I'm not sure how this is going to bust out. Okay. All right. Let's try it. Let's try it like this, and I will see if this is flying this way. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Jimmy, this is Walter from Texas.
Oh, this is working. Okay. Yeah, it's weird. I had to switch to another computer. It's, okay. I wasn't sure if this was going to work. But my other...
No, I heard you the first time.
Yeah.
I heard you the first time.
Yeah. My other computer is where I want this, though. Okay. All right. Let's just do it this way, then. How you doing, Walter? What's cracking?
Good. It's a nice week. You know, I had to change my dog's dog food because... he's a little bit older, and, the hard dog food wasn't working anymore, so I had to go to the cans. But,
yeah, dogs love canned dog food.
I didn't know that. Now I know. Everybody told me to feed him, hard food. My dog is 10 years old, so he's been eating hard food for 10 years now.
Right.
But we went soft this week.
Yeah, that's it. You're done. You'll never go back to hard food again. You're done, man. Cans are in your life. Or you can mix it. You can mix hard food in with the soft food and kind of psych them out. So
I think that's it. That's the best thing.
Yeah. So what's on your mind tonight, Walter?
Jimmy, I want to talk about Egypt, and I want to talk about the pyramids.
Okay.
So when I was in the service, I was on a training mission for 45 days to Cairo West. So that's an Egyptian air base, but outside Cairo. So we had the opportunity one day to take a tour to the pyramids. And, the bus picks you up, the regular thing. You're a tourist, you go out there. And when you see the pyramids, it is nothing like on Earth. It is something that I remember to this day, and everybody should do. It's incredible. And when you see them, you'll know, you'll be questioning if humans built them or people built them. And, the main thing is when I'm thinking about it, Egypt was in turmoil most of its history. food wasn't that food was scarce. There was no, stores. And the pharaoh said, we're going to build these pyramids and we're going to use a copper chisel and a rope. So when you see the pyramids, it's truly amazing. Now, Jimmy, I was going to tell you this, though. I looked at the itinerary for the trip that you guys are planning, and that is not a trip. That is an expedition.
Yes, it is.
I mean, that is yeah. That's time to grab your notepad and a piece of paper, write down all your questions, and you will learn something. It's not like, oh, we're going to fly over there. And think about this, Jimmy. When the explorers went there from England in the 20s or 30s, it took them months to get there. Months. And it took them decades to get down to the Valley of the Kings. And, you guys got the boat going down, going down the Nile. I mean, it's an incredible trip. So I just want to tell everybody out there, if you haven't been to Egypt, this will take you probably from seeing most of Egypt, most of the historical sites. So it's incredible.
Yeah, and since the expedition phase of this is 6.5 days, right? 6 days, 6.5 days. There are some things that just can't be seen. But we are squeezing in and taking advantage of every single minute of every day. And the main things for me, which are obviously Giza, right? That's got to be there. But Ed Fu is and Dendera for me, Saqqara, the Serapeum, and the Valley of the Kings too, as well. These are some of the that I have to get that, my first trip there. Got to get it out of the way. And then we've got 2 days in Luxor, we've got everything else that we're going to Aswan, right? I mean, it's, and I hope to get to the new Cairo Museum, and hopefully that's going to be fully open by the time we get there in October. But I agree with you. It's an expedition. There's no question about it. We've got the best Egyptologists with us. We have Billy with us. And we've got myself there that is absolutely going to be losing my mind. And, we're taking 80 friends with us. 80. We've got 2 buses and 80 friends. 80. It's going to be great, man. And obviously my birthday there in Luxor on October 10th. It's just, I just can't wait. I just can't wait. They just got all of my information for the flights and the hotels a couple of days ago. I'm just nervous now, man. This is anticipation that this is going down. But yeah, I'm so glad to hear you say what so many others have said. You see it in pictures, you can see it in movies. But until you go to Egypt yourself and you see it for yourself, you're not going to believe it. And you're going to be overwhelmed. And I want that feeling. And finally, I'm going to get it, Walter.
Oh, yeah, it's excellent. I don't know if you know that the pyramids they're all the way to the city. So most of the time people never take the pictures. I don't know if it's going looking east, because if you look east, the city's right there. But if you look west, it goes out to the desert.
Right.
So, you pull up right there and, but it's just the whole experience. And it's right now, the pyramids are the 3rd heaviest building ever constructed by mankind. And the 2 other ones that are above the pyramids were done, in the recent years, and all the other buildings are all in recent history.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking about 2,000-3,000 years ago. The heaviest building on Earth was constructed and was like that for that whole time.
Yeah, 4,500 years ago. We're in 2022. Yeah. So, 4,500 years ago.
Jimmy, I had a thought that came through my head today, actually, that the Egyptians might have been working at the pyramid site, taking off the limestone from it and using it somewhere else.
Well, yeah,
that's what I'm thinking.
Well, yeah. There's the records of the record keeping of the buildings in Cairo, man, they were stripping the limestone off the outside of the pyramids and building whatever over in Cairo with it for 1,000 years. I don't think that, and it went through a couple of earthquakes and some of the limestone fell off and it's down there in the sand. Well, it's already cut. Let's go. Let's add.
Go. Yep.
Yep. I need a new back deck on the house. Right. Hey, Walter, have a great weekend, my man. Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you so much, Jimmy. Bye.
But time to fade to black. That's Walter from Texas. And 747-228-2051. 747-228-2051. Thursday nights, Fader nights, open lines all night long. Unscreened, unfiltered, uncensored. I have another in there. I just can't. Unscreened. Did I say that? All right. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? You're live.
Hello. Can
yes.
you hear me?
Yeah, you're live.
Oh, wonderful. My name is Ishmael Perez.
Hi, Ishmael.
Hi. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
I am impressed with your show because you guys are helping bring truth to the public, and I just wanted to let you know that I've been researching for many, many years, and I actually just published my book called Our Cosmic Origin, revealing a whole new different origin of the species involving many worlds, extraterrestrials, and multiple universes. So,
and
I would love to go on your show and explain the bigger picture of the cosmos and Earth's relationship to the multiverse.
Well, you're on the show
beyond
now.
Anything that we've been.
You're on the show now.
Sorry?
You're on the show now. Tell me about the book. Tell me about the book. What's going on?
Okay, so the book is a compilation of a lot of suppressed information, and at the same time, it's a book that tells us the truth about the universe and not everything we've been told throughout history. Everything you could say that everything we've been told is a lie. We don't come from apes. We haven't just been around for 6,000 years. The universe is billions and billions of years old, and civilizations have always existed. So in this book, I reveal the truth about Earth's suppressed history and how it relates to the history of the galaxy.
Where did you get this suppressed information from, Ishmael?
To be honest with you, Jimmy, one of my gifts is I'm able to download information from what scientists call the infinite field of intelligence, or the Akashic record in terms of spirituality.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I do a lot of research to back it up. And a lot of my book is supported by cutting-edge science through the fields of quantum physics as well.
So
in my book,
but my question, Ishmael, I'm very curious about this. When you say research, where are you going for this information? I understand the Akashic records and tuning into that, but where are you going from the science for the science? Do you have friends? Do you have physicists? Do you have astrophysicist friends? Where are you going for that?
Okay, so for the science, I do. I read, everything that needs to be known about quantum physics, superstring theory, M theory, unified field theory, and all that stuff, obsessively. But the main information regarding the history of the galaxy and Earth's relationship to the multiverse, I get it from my higher self through meditation. I'm what you called an awakened starseed, an extraterrestrial in human form.
Mm-hmm.
And there's many of us that are down here posing to be humans, but we're really not humans, but yet we're in a human form. It's an avatar that they've created for us. So as a cosmic ambassador to the Earth, I represent an intergalactic alliance that was formulated long ago by, what we would call the, benevolent races. There are so many, and we're here to pretty much bring, the Earth back to the galactic community as it once was before the, fallen ones intercepted it during the times of Atlantis. So my purpose here.
And let me stop you there for a second.
Sure.
I've got a million questions.
Sure.
How long ago was that?
How long ago was what?
You just said you've been here, and the galactic, this arrangement has been since and you said, what happened?
Oh, since the times of Atlantis. Yes. So Earth was
the
once
time of
part of the galactic
Atlantis.
community.
Atlantis.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't hear you say
exactly.
that clearly. Okay. So the time of Atlantis. And when did Atlantis go away?
About, the final destruction of Atlantis took place in 9,500 BC. But it went down in different stages.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason it went down is because Atlantis was infiltrated by what ufologists and people within the SSP programs would consider the Draco or the reptilians.
Sure.
They infiltrated Atlantis. But what people fail to mention is that this war against the Draco encompasses many galaxies, not just the Milky Way. This is an intergalactic war that we've been fighting, as in the galactic humanoids, the advanced races against the Draco for millions of years.
And is this 9,500 year ago time span? So then you're talking about 7,500 BC, or are you referring to 11,500 years ago when you say 9,500?
I'm talking about 9,500 years ago, about 10,000 years ago. Yes.
So that would have been So that would have been 7,500 BC. Right now we're in the year 2000.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. It's about. It's actually 10,000. No, I'm sorry, 12,000 years ago. So it falls around 9,500 BC. Yeah, you're right. 12,000 years ago.
Right. And where was Atlantis located? Do you have any idea?
Yes. It was located in what humans on Earth call the Atlantic Ocean.
Okay. What part of the Atlantic?
South of the Atlantic, close to, I guess, what would connect to the Antarctica and the Mediterranean area. It was a huge land. You have to understand, it was probably the size of North America when it was fully intact.
Mm.
So it connected the Mediterranean part of Lower Europe, and it reached all the way to the South Pole, almost to where Antarctica is. And many believe that even Antarctica was once connected to that landmass when it was still fully intact before it was collapsed.
Yeah, sure, it's possible.
And that's why there's right.
Well,
and that's why they've been finding a lot of relics that date back to thousands and thousands of years ago. Advanced relics.
Well, Ishmael, shoot me an email. You have my email address. You can find it over on the website. It's jimmy@jimmychurchradio.com. Shoot me an email and send me an electric version of the book, PDF. Let me check it out, and let's communicate further.
All right, sounds good. Can I just let people know if they want to get the book? It's on Amazon, and it's called Our Cosmic Origin.
Okay. And another thing you can do, be a lot easier, is just do something over on Twitter and do a post right there to hashtag F2B and let the Fadernauts know. All right?
All right, I will. Thank you, Jimmy. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you, Ishmael. Great phone call. Thank you for that. And interesting. And it's before I get back to the phones, I've had and I've read, probably it's an interesting, I don't know if it's a trend or there's some connections that are going on, but probably read 5 books over the last year about this exact same subject. Yeah, very interesting. Very, very interesting. All right, let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, dude, what's up, man?
What's up, Elf?
Hey, man, I got a very important question to get to you.
I hope it's good.
Which crystal skull are you taking with you to the pyramids?
I've thought about this. And you know what else is weird with that question? What is it that I'm going to be bringing back? Right now, Which crystal skull? You know, I'm probably, and I thought about this already. I'm going to go small. I'm going to go small. I'm probably going to take Jose for a lot of different reasons. But Jose, I've got a great connection with. Jose is small. He's powerful, and he's absolutely crystal clear with loads of energy. And also, I've got to take as little with me as I can, so I have luggage space for the return trip. You dig what I'm saying?
Okay, I'm glad you said that, because here's what I'm thinking, man.
Okay.
Because I know you had one that you were going to take, but I just want to throw this out there, man.
Yeah.
Now, I'm sure Lisa gave you, because you know she does this, a little one. Correct?
I've got lots of little Lisa skulls.
Oh, okay. So she got you a bunch. I was going to say, take one of the ones that you connect with, the real little ones, and take that with you. Because that one you can take everywhere in your pocket. When you're going to touch the pyramid, you're going everywhere.
Pat,
boom.
That's a great idea. That's a great idea.
Dude, that's why I'm here. I'm full of good ideas, man.
Man, let's see.
You know, the RV, remember that one? That was the greatest idea I ever had.
Yeah.
No one ever listened to me on that one.
Oh, man. It's still in the works, too. The RV is still in the works.
I know.
It's
Yeah.
still in the works. Something like that doesn't happen overnight. And especially after what we just went through with this pandemic. And that just put everything on hold. So, you know what I'm looking at, Pat? Okay, well, hold on a minute. Triscale.
The Gabbro?
Triscale on Twitter.
Right. Triscale gave you that Gabbro. You got the Gabbro from the Gabbro skull?
I've got that too. No, but sent me two minis.
Oh, okay. There you go.
I'm holding them up to they're gorgeous, man. And
okay, yeah, I'm looking at them.
Yeah. These are. I mean, look at these. Look at it. Just gorgeous, man. And so yeah, we could do one of these, or I've got quartz. I've got lots of quartz. So
right. I'm just saying, when you go over there, I mean, jewelry, anything you got, take with you.
What do you mean?
You got necklaces, jade or any kind of necklace with any kind of crystal on it?
I do, of course.
Okay, well, I'm just saying, take what you can. Because, see, dude, if it was me, man, I'd have one in each sock. I'd have one in every pocket. And I'd be touching everything in the pyramid. And, I'd go nuts.
You see what I'm holding up to the camera now? You know what that is?
There you go.
That's meteorite.
Ooh, that'd be a good one to take.
Look at the setting, and isn't that crazy? Isn't that beautiful? All right.
Silver?
Come on, Pat. Come on, man. So I like that idea, though. Okay.
Oh, yeah, dude, you got to take the little ones, because everybody thinks bigger, better when it comes to crystals. Sometimes, man, I'll tell you what, I got my socks knocked off by 3 little bitty amethysts, man. They were tumbled. I mean, they were, looking at them, they're just like, whatever.
Right,
but, dude, that's the ones that set me off one night.
That's a great idea. Now, let me give you the RV update. And it's not going to be what you think, because the RV is still in the picture, okay? But you know what I've got my eyes on right now? And I almost pulled. That's already done. I've got my eye on. I almost did it this month. A teardrop mini trailer, and the teardrop mini that I'm looking at is black with off-road tires, solar power, and I can tow it with the Jeep. And
now, are you buying it or are you renting it?
No, I'm buying it. I'm going to buy it.
Okay. So you're definitely going to put Fade to Black all over it?
You know what I'm talking about? Those little teardrop. They're only like 3 feet tall, right? 3.5 feet tall.
Yeah.
Yep. And in the back, you open it up. It's got a full galley kitchen. You just open it up and everything's right there. Refrigerator and stove and sink. And that's on the outside. It's got solar power on the roof. Man, it's awesome.
Yeah, those are nice.
Yeah. This is really, 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 really cool. And so, and I can tow that behind the Fade to Black Jeep, right? And
that's nice.
Yeah. So that's.
But my question is this, though. I mean, if Race is going with you, it's going to be kind of cramped.
Now, Race, if Race goes with me, he's on an air mattress under the stars.
All right, I got you.
Him and Robin out there, and with a little Coleman lantern.
There you go.
Oh man!
But yeah, man, that's all I wanted to call about, man. I just wanted to make sure that you take some, little crystal skulls with you, man. Whatever you got, take.
Man,
the ones that you like. You know what I'm saying?
That's the best advice ever. Hey, Pat.
Well, besides the RV,
Pat. Have a great weekend, my man.
Brother, you have a good weekend too.
You're the best. You're the best.
You're the best, buddy.
That's the elf, everybody. That is the elf coming in on a Thursday night on a Fader night. This is Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. We're going to take a quick break. 747-228-2051. 747-228-2051. It's your calls, your conversation all night long. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer and UNX Networks. Raise Hobbs. It's Fader night. It is Thursday. More of your phone calls after this short break. Stay with us.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network.
Your 1 million gigawatt paranormal powerhouse, KUNX-DB, VX.
This is Billy Carson, founder and CEO of ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. ForbiddenKnowledge.tv is the fastest growing and one of the most watched networks in the world. I would like to personally invite you to check out our expanding library of TV, film, lectures, and special presentations. ForbiddenKnowledge.tv has over 6,000 videos covering lost history, health, UFOs, spirituality, and our future. We are committed to our community, and with my personal invitation, you can, right now, get your free 30-day membership at ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. Your own library of information starts today at ForbiddenKnowledge.tv.
Because you never got that pony you always wanted. Damn it. Jimmy Church and Fade to Black on the Game Changer Network.
Listen, I know, and you know, that you've always wanted your first crystal skull. Or maybe you're a collector just like me, but you just don't know where to go to find the real thing. Then I met Carolyn Ford over at EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com. Carolyn is the guardian of Einstein, one of the most respected ancient crystal skulls in the world. All of her unique skulls have been imprinted sitting with Einstein in his sacred lodge and are carved from the finest gemstone and materials. Imprinting is the process of receiving the ancient wisdom from the master skull or master computer, Einstein, the ancient crystal skull. To see Carolyn's current collection of crystal skulls, just visit her store at EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com or click on the banner over on our site. Don't forget to use the promo code Jimmy at checkout to receive 10% off of your order today. That's promo code Jimmy. Finding your first or next crystal skull is easy. Just visit EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com.
Hi, Race Hobbs with the X. Obviously, if you're listening to this, you have an interest in unexplained phenomena like ghosts, Bigfoot, and UFOs. And by now, you know that we have our own X blog, the UnX newsletter, and the UnX magazine quarterly. But most of you don't know that we have started our very own paranormal conference. And this year, for safety, this 2-day XCon will be virtual, so you can attend from the comfort of your home. XCon presenters include Whitley Strieber, Micah Hank, Hanks, Margie Kay and Preston Dennett, Lisa Martin and Wayne Lawrence, Lee Spiegel, Debbie Zagelmeyer, Dan Terry, Kate Grabowski, and Ray Hernandez. There will also be a live paranormal investigation by the Riverside, Iowa Paranormal Team. So come hang out with us in the safety of home as we set out to explain the unexplained Friday, May 13th and Saturday the 14th, 2022. And tickets are on sale now. Go to unxnetwork.com. That's unxnetwork.com.
Hello, I'm Katie, and you're listening to my main man, Jimmy Church, on jimmychurchradio.com.
Hi, this is Ray Hobbs here, repping the planet, and you're listening to my good friend, Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
This is Toby Kebbell. You're listening to jimmychurchradio.com. Don't hurt me, Jimmy. I'm only little.
Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier, and this is Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. We're of the Honey Brothers. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier, and I'm Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers, and you're listening to Jimmy Church. The Revolution.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can become an official FADERNIGHT by just going to our membership section at jimmychurchradio.com.
Hello, this is Serena Wright Taylor from Conscious Life Expo, and you're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church, who holds the Lucky Pony record for the best astrological chart since 1963. True story.
This is Micah Hanks of the Gralien Report, and you're listening to Jimmy Church on Fade to Black.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. It's Thursday night. It is Fader Night. It's open lines all night long. 747-228-2051. And it's my favorite night of the week. And last night we had Dave Schrader on the show. And it was so much fun to just talk about movies and Marvel and the rise of the gods and what is going on there. And we talked about some other stuff too as well. And then I brought up Guardians of the Galaxy. And when I did that and Dave's reaction to me saying that I thought that was one of Marvel's best movies. And his reaction, it was so much fun. And so last night after the confusion that I had, it is live radio, about Endgame, right? Avengers Endgame. And so last night after the show, I went, man, how did I get this all screwed up? And I did. It was Endgame where half of the universe was eliminated, and Iron Man and the sacrifices and all of that stuff. Anyway, so after I got all of that cleared up, I watched the ending of both of those movies and went, oh, man, I just don't know how I did, but I did. It doesn't matter. But then I went back and I watched Guardians of the Galaxy last night after the show, and I watched it beginning to end. And I'm standing by what I said last night. Guardians of the Galaxy is an amazingly perfect movie. I didn't get to 2. That would have been staying up till 4 a.m. But Guardians of the Galaxy, man, woofa! That is a perfect movie. It's a perfect movie. I'm standing by my words. All right, let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, I'm Groot. Just kidding. This is that was great. This is Jeremy of Alien Scientists. I'm actually a big fan of Guardians of the Galaxy, and I talk a lot about how there's a lot of hidden stuff in those Avengers movies, and that relates to real science, like the vibranium stuff or the Tesseract, for example, is that 4-dimensional cube.
Yep.
That and there's a lot of like little hidden gems of stuff, including the Thor thing about the Rainbow Bridge. I feel like the Rainbow Bridge is could be related to this this whole issue of entanglement. And when how UFOs are able to, warp to other locations. In space time.
And I have brought up the bridge, and who was the gatekeeper? That was Idris Elba, right? The gatekeeper of the bridge, dressed in gold.
Right.
Am I?
I don't know enough about it, but I know it could possibly relate to real world wormholes and opening up real world wormholes through this.
That's
Einstein.
Yeah. That's what he's
Einstein
doing.
Rosen bridges.
Yeah. That's what he's doing. He's the gatekeeper of those wormholes. And but that was one of my favorite parts of Asgard and the Thor movies was that bridge. That bridge just blew my mind. You're absolutely right about so much science in Marvel. And going back to Avengers Endgame, the time travel that they did was at trying to follow it and how they were going back and forth and eliminating, some were staying, some weren't, and altering time and finding out, again, going back to the science of it, that they could go back and change the past, but it wouldn't change where they were currently because there was a new timeline that was created. Right. And that is something
only opened up after he killed Dr. Strange and got the time gem.
Yes.
Too,
yeah. I love that, that aspect of Marvel, is the science that they introduced to everybody. But all right, Jeremy, you call me. What's on your mind? Oh, by the way, I am Groot. Watching last night and the translations of I am Groot every single time what Groot was really saying with Rocket. That was a lot of fun last night. Okay, you called me. What's up? Oh, I got a Groot right here. Check this out. I got my Groot right here in the bunker. See?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, there's my Groot. This is a planter. It's actually a planter, so you could have Groot with some really cool hair. I haven't planted anything, and I've got jewelry in here right now. But there's my Groot, man, and I love my Groot.
So I wanted to make an announcement. I was going to maybe do it on my show, but I think this would be a good place and time to do it. Apparently, I've been informed that there's a Manhattan Project 2.0 that is going on right now. That the military higher ups have said, you know what, screw it. We might as well throw some funding towards this UAP thing and see if there's anything to the science behind it. So apparently, there's billions of dollars just sitting on the line to fund a whole new research project to develop this stuff. And we're basically, it's an open call now. We're trying to recruit scientists, and I'm trying to also educate the public on a lot of the issues that things that need to be studied, and like metamaterials, nonlinear optics.
Okay. You got a little bit ahead of me. Who's recruiting this? You said we.
So I've got the word from some of the top scientists who've been, working on this stuff for the past, 40, 50 years.
Right.
And they basically let me know that through an email that a lot of this stuff is going to be going black soon. A lot of it I know already has, because of certain things that I've talked about on my channel that they get shadow banned. It's like, I go from 10,000 views one day to 1,000 views on that video, and you say, all right, well, I'm probably not allowed to talk about those things right away, because there's a competition going on right now between the Chinese and the Russians and other world powers to get to this technology. And it's something that's been going on a while, but we're really close now with where the technology's at. We're closer than most people realize. And there's so much, going out there in the mainstream narrative that they say, oh, well, these things defy our understanding of physics. Well, these people don't understand anything about physics. Most of them, generally. There's only a few people that are out there that really have dove deep enough into this subject to really get what's going on in terms of the physics. And one of the first guys was actually a scientist who worked for Battelle named John Archibald Wheeler. And he came up with the whole idea of quantum non-locality as a solution to, this, quantum gravity paradox and all this stuff. And quantum non-locality says that if we just understand and reinterpret time, then maybe everything is, all in the same place all at once, and that we can open portals to other locations in space, and we can do that through time. And if we just understand, how this light medium, this interaction of the ether field, connects all of space and time. And there's a lot of other interesting things going on with condensed light and liquid light, it's called. And I think liquid light has a lot to do with the research that's being done into UAP, and would explain a lot of these, these orbs of light, and the fact that these things glow. They sometimes flash really brightly before they disappear, before they go into warp. And that's related to these light cones. There's a lot of research that's been going on to this. The Air Force is also interested in a lot of this research. You can look up a guy named Isaac Kemp, Kemp, and this guy was out of the terahertz and ultrafast photonics lab at Wright State University, which is right next to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. And that's where NASIC is, the National Aerospace Intelligence Center, U.S. Air Force Institute of Technology, all the top Air Force intelligence, headquarters are right there. And this guy was convicted of bringing about 1,000 pages of papers home from work with him. And I found the story just by chance looking for, stuff on Wright-Patterson, and it's a couple of years old. But this guy was apparently doing research, and I read his PhD thesis papers, and he's doing work into what are called polariton condensates and surface plasmon polaritons, which is basically trapped liquid light. That's when you trap light on the surface of objects. And they're saying that they're using it for, looking beneath layers of paint to examine aircraft hulls. But I really believe it's part of a whole new generation of aircraft hulls that are being developed right now in secret.
Yeah, that's definitely been going on for a while, and there isn't any question about that. And the creation of lift, even if we talk about something basic like the B-2, there is for the B-2 to do what it does, there is an advanced electromagnetic hull on that ship that is creating lift, and nobody talks about it, and I get that, and we don't want this information to go out to anybody else, our adversaries and things, but this research is deep, and it has to be going on. There's no question about it. And John Wheeler, you brought up John Wheeler earlier. John Wheeler, out of all of the big brains out there, John Wheeler is somebody that is has been so influential on the way that physicists think. Okay, because he went more so than anybody else too. He went way outside of the box and got these kids that were in school for physics and maybe graduating and postdoc and things like that, and got them thinking into other areas. But here's the deal with John Wheeler. You'll hear physicists talk about him all the time. Well, John Wheeler said, well, actually, John Wheeler, and, John Wheeler, but go and research John Wheeler. It's really, really funny.
He had such classified clearances. He worked on everything from the H-bomb to the Manhattan Project.
His stuff is buried, man. His stuff is buried.
He was an expert on metallurgy, and if there's anyone that was involved, that could have been involved with, reverse engineering alien technology, or there's anyone in the world that we would have brought metals to say, our best scientists don't know what this is. Can you figure it out? It would have been John Wheeler.
Yeah.
And the fact that he wrote all these theories in the 50s, like It from Bit is one of the most important ones for me, because it really describes how these ships work on the quantum level. It's that everything is information on the quantum level. We're really it's a pixelated universe, and there's bits, And we're basically, this whole universe derives from, what's basically pixels at the bottom scale. And if we can find a way to hack that source code through this quantum technology, these types of quantum states and stuff, then I think he was right on to, his ideas are so in line with how our current theories of how alien technology might work, that I really think he was privy to some information that not the rest of the scientific community was privy to at the time.
Yeah, his stuff is buried. Hey, Jeremy, thank you for the phone call, my friend. Very good information. Really appreciate it.
It's also, one more thing I want to say about John Wheeler is that he was working on, towards the end of his life, he was working on Condon states and squeezed light, which is, again, related to this liquid light stuff. And you can look up his papers on that. So, yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me on, man. It's good stuff. There's a lot more going on with this than people realize in the public. And that will ever be talked about.
Absolutely, Jeremy. I appreciate it, my man. Have a great weekend and a great phone call. Thank you so much. And John Wheeler, just to stay on this for a minute, because of the amount of research that I do into, I call it research, it's very loose. The amount of reading that I do into this from different physicists, you hear John Wheeler quoted all the time, and he is brought up all the time. And then you just turn around, Google John Wheeler, and try to get access to his. There's stuff out there, but it's not as easy as you think. It's a lot of work. John Wheeler is somebody that I think his work was so important that ultimately, in the end, they just they buried him. They buried him. His work is hard to find, and probably the most referenced physicist out there. And I mean that. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
This is Dave at Large. How you doing, Jimmy?
Hey, Dave. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing pretty well. But definitely been a while since I called in, and based on this week alone, I had a couple of comments to make on Whitley Strieber when you had him on. That went pretty deep.
Yeah, it was. That was
the conversation with him always does, but he took a nosedive extra deep.
Yeah, he did. He went real deep. It was a very fun text. I haven't spoken to him, but he texted me the next day. He's like, I don't know if he said, dude, Jimmy, last night was pretty cool. And I texted him back. I said, it was. And he hit me back and he said, yeah, it was just, and I just woke up today. And he said, I went into the show with a different frame, a different mindset. And I came out, and nothing that I thought that we were going to talk about, we talked about. We went in another direction, and it was excellent as always. And that was his comment. And so he knew that too. He knew somewhere along the line. And I know when it started, actually, when I brought up the blue trolls. And when I brought, and right when I did that, and see, here's the thing, Dave, and then you called me. But this is what I said to Whitley, and this is the truth. This is a long time ago, right? It's like 15 years ago, maybe longer. And I'm listening to an episode of Dreamland, and I forget who Whitley had on, who the guest was. And it was a two-parter. So it was like, 4 hours, two 2-hour things. And they got into... they were talking about the battle for the universe, but whatever, 100 million years ago, whatever. And then as this discussion was going on, it went into different types of alien species, right? And then the blue guys, and Whitley, and he's got my attention. Right. Because and he says, well, it's no, I don't think they're aliens. And his guest it's his guest. He turns it around on Whitley. He's like, what are you talking about? And Whitley goes, no, I think they're us. And he goes, what do you mean? And it's another dimension. That's where we go when we die. And that's what we will turn into. And this conversation, and I sat, Dave, I went and listened to this for the next hour, listening to Whitley discuss this in a very, very deep personal way. And I started it over and I listened to it again. And I went back a couple of days later. I was like, man, what was, you know, and I went back and I listened to it again and again. So when I brought this up with Whitley the other night, I wasn't blowing smoke. That conversation that he had 15 years ago has stayed with me. It might have been 20. It might have been 20 years ago. And it just stayed with me. And I wanted him to go back and explain that. And that's when the interview took another turn. And and it went deep, man. I totally agree with you. It went deep.
Well, you know, listening to all of his some of the points he made, you know, Whitley Strieber has got voodoo talk. That is what he's talking about. We're getting used to living between the worlds.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's voodoo talk. He's talking about where people go when they die, how they're organized, who takes them, who goes where, why, what, and what they have to do afterwards. That's all part of the, you know, cosmology of voodoo and the ancestors and things like that. And one of the things that he mentioned that was really stood out to me was this is an opportunity to ascend. Talking about in as a human being in this life, it's an opportunity to ascend, the most precious thing that in this universe that a living being can possess. And if you deny that to yourself, that's on you. You're gone.
Mm.
You know, he didn't sugarcoat it.
Right.
But that, you know, again, for the ascension thing, it definitely, you know, speaks to, I get this kind of like Egyptian feel. I know he's in the Gurdjieff work and I know where he's coming from with a lot of his ideas and how he builds on them. But, you know, the Egyptians were very centered on what's going to happen after all the, you know, after you take off from this departure lounge, what's next? And the whole point of, you know, getting through this process we call life is to get yourself you know, I was listening to a speaker, somebody who has a school, said, what's the most important 5 minutes of your life? The last 5. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, that's right. Yes. Yeah, man, we could talk about that all night. I wanted to ask you, and Gurdjieff. Okay. I wanted to ask you something else.
I have read the book.
You have?
Mm-hmm.
Which one?
Well, I read several, but I read All in Everything.
Right.
Beelzebub's Tales to His Grandson. And, you know, you were speaking just last night about Childhood's End and the character from that. Well, Gurdjieff's Beelzebub, I don't know if Clark ran across it or they were both referencing some similar text or something they came across, but Beelzebub's in the story comes, you know, travels from planet to planet in a spaceship and lands in the Black Sea and goes to Egypt and other places and Mesopotamia and things like that.
Right.
Throughout history.
Right.
And yes, he disguises himself, but his true form is actually a little bit more on that little impish side.
Yeah,
but that's the description in the book.
It's okay. First off, the book version of A Childhood's End is great, but the 3-part movie I thought was almost better than the book, and that's tough to say with Arthur C. Clarke. As a matter of fact, 2001: A Space Odyssey is way better than the book version. The book was written after the movie was made, and you know, they developed the script as they were, you know, doing, but the book wasn't written yet. So after they finished the screenplay, Arthur went back and wrote the book, and to get the book out before the movie had completed filming. Most people don't know that. It's done the opposite, right? Okay, so anyway, that's why the movie to me is much better than 2001: A Space Odyssey, the book. And going back to A Childhood's End, as great as the book version of it is, the movie is a 3-parter. Okay, it's a mini series, and so you're not trying to compress everything into 2 hours, right? Into 120 minutes. And it is nearly complete, but you get the visuals to go along with it. And that's why A Childhood's End, the most important part of that entire story, is that this alien being that was coming here to steal our children, right? Which is why it's called Childhood's End, makes Earth perfect, cures all diseases. You don't have to work if you don't want to. You can just live life, right? And he makes friends and makes nice with everybody on Earth. And he couldn't have done that if he had revealed himself from the beginning. And so the book paints this picture of him, but in the movie Childhood's End, you get to see it and see him, and it's incredible, man. It is absolutely incredible. I didn't realize that Gurdjieff made those parallels. I wonder if Arthur C. Clarke read Gurdjieff. Is that possible?
That is my question.
Yeah, is that possible?
Certainly the book came out earlier.
Yeah, right around the same time. Book. Yeah, it was all happening at the same time. That's wow, that's a great question. That's that's an interesting one. It's an interesting one. I don't know.
Yeah.
Could that have been borrowed? Which is fine if it was, but yeah, very, very interesting. Yeah, Gurdjieff. I'm serious. When I told Whitley the other day, I got 100 pages in. I'm like, man, I don't get this. And it was like 6 months later, I was reading an interview with Gurdjieff. It was printed, and I'm reading it, and he was like, I wrote this so nobody, could understand it. I was like, oh, okay.
Yes.
All right. That makes a lot of sense. And I never went back. It was just too difficult for me. I'm not smart enough.
Whitley was spot on when he said, if you're not in the work, don't bother. Read the Cliff Notes, the Wikipedia summary. That'll be
You've got to be in a group setting, a book of the month club where you're sitting there and discussing every page of this and getting everybody else's take on it. That's the only way you could make it through. And Whitley's
people
right.
Who are in the work know what is being referred to. And
yes.
You just wouldn't have. But it does have interesting storyline. I mean, travels through time and space and different planets and redeems himself and all that other stuff. And how he got branded as a bad guy.
Yeah, I tried to get to it, man.
Yeah. But one thing that Whitley stated that was very Gurdjieff is that he was talking about feeling your soul. He said it takes a long time, but you can learn how to feel your soul. You can, if you want to find out if you have a soul, it takes time. You have to do it with the body. You have to become sensitive enough to your body, and then you will also become aware of the existence of your soul and how it feels.
Yeah, there you go.
And
there you go.
And that's very much related to meditation, but there's many forms meditation can take, and don't get put off by the word that meditation. You think you have to be on a mountaintop. My first experience with light language was in Silver Lake in Los Angeles at a meditation class run by a shaman, and everybody had rattles and drums and noisemakers, and it was a form of meditation, but it wasn't silent. You know, you can be walking and meditate.
Yeah, you're right about that. Hey, Dave,
But the important thing is to get in touch with your body.
Yeah, you got to get in touch with your body, and I've got to get in touch with the commercial break.
I hear you.
Hey, Dave,
I hear you. All right.
Have a great weekend, my man. Thank you so much.
You too. All right, peace.
Dave at Large, right there. This is Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Thursday night, Fader night, open lines all night long. 747-228-2051. 747-228-2051. I'll be right back.
Way out here, we listen to Jimmy Church.
You're listening to Fade to Black.
You're listening to Jimmy Church and Fade to Black on the X.
¿Qué tal, mis amigos? Yo soy Mario Carson, el tiburón, y los invito para que escuchen a mi buen amigo Jimmy Church Radio. ¡Claro que sí!
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and this year, June 18th, 2022, the Disclosure Fest Foundation presents the Mass Meditation Initiative. It's Saturday, June 18th from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., one day only at the Los Angeles State Historic Park in downtown Los Angeles, California, right next to Chinatown. I'm hosting the event again this year with music performances by Trevor Hall, The Desert Dwellers, Poran Key, and many, many more on 4 separate stages. There's 16 stages in total, over 30 acres in downtown Los Angeles, with vendors and tents and presentations and workshops with Billy Carson, Adam Apollo, Lori Spagna, Laura Eisenhower, Brad Olson, David Palmer, and many, many more. It's all simple to do. Just go to disclosurefest.org for all of your tickets, information, and a full schedule of the day's events. Again, disclosurefest.org. Do you want to be an official Fadernaut? Of course you do. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black. Just go to our membership section at jimmychurchradio.com. Fadernauts, when you think about the future of our country and where we're headed, do you wonder about the food supply? I do. Disruptions in the food supply chain could be disastrous, and they usually occur with little warning. That's why the smartest thing you can do today is to stockpile emergency food, water, and other essentials. I personally recommend My Patriot Supply. They're the nation's largest emergency preparedness company, serving millions of customers for more than a decade. In fact, they're the only source my family trusts for our preparedness plan. You should too. Right now, save 20% off a full 4-week supply of delicious meals that provide 2,000 calories a day. Saving 20% helps too, doesn't it? Especially now. So go to preparewithjimmy.com and get ready. That's preparewithjimmy.com. There's no time to lose. Do it now.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7, with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
You listen to us, and we listen to you. And so does the CIA.
You are listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Oi, oi, I'm Reese Evans. You're listening to Jimmy Church. This is Revolution. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution is on radio. Ciao.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight, Thursday, Fader Night, open lines all night long. This is Fade to Black. All right, 747-228-2051. And before I get back to the calls, I'm watching a lot of TV series right now. I'm watching Slow Horses. I've got that going on. The new season of Better Call Saul. I'm in episode 3 or 4 of that. I'm watching Moon Knight right now. I'm in the middle of that. And I did watch Russian Doll, Time Travel. And I watched that. I watched that in one day. I binged the entire thing. Excellent. And I read the reviews about Russian Doll, season 2. And I cannot believe what I read about the review. And I almost didn't watch it. And it turned out it was excellent on every level. And I can't believe, it's one reviewer that I read. But, and then there is this, The Man Who Fell to Earth. That's right. Showtime is doing their version of this. Of course, we all know the movie with David Bowie. And this is a series. And I'm 2 episodes in, and I think the new episode comes out tomorrow night. The Man Who Fell to Earth. Wow. How do you do this? Well, Showtime's taking a crack at it. First 2 episodes, interesting. Okay. And I've watched The Man Who Fell to Earth so many times and so greatly influenced by that movie to watch a series of it set in a modern context is interesting. So anyway, have you checked out The Man Who Fell to Earth? Is anybody out there watching that right now? It's pretty crazy. Better Call Saul is, and Russian Doll. Now, and what I haven't touched, I watched half of the first episode, The Flight Attendant. I don't know if I'm going to go back and hit this one. The first season of The Flight Attendant, I forget her name from Big Bang Theory. She wakes up in a hotel room. She's got a dead body in her bed that ends up talking to her. And what happens with that and who is what and things. Okay, so interesting. The new season 2 of The Flight Attendant, she is now a CIA agent / flight attendant. And now, right there, you would think, okay, all right, that sounds pretty cool. I checked out. I just checked out. I was like, I can't get into this. I can't. All right, moving on. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? Okay, you're live. 3.
Jimmy?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is Ray from Vancouver, BC.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I just want to know, where'd you get your meteorite?
Where did I get my who?
Your meteorite. Your meteorite.
Oh,
the one you showed.
Oh, I was gifted that from a friend.
Oh, okay. I won't tell you a story about it, but mine was round, and it dropped right in front of me. It's about 25 feet.
Uh-huh.
I was about 7 years old. It was a nice starry night outside, but I was really scared. I don't want to go in this grass field, so when I went back home, And in the morning, I went over there, and sure enough, it was about maybe 7 inches in deep in the ground, and I picked it up. It's round black, glassy black, Jimmy. Well, that's all I want to ask you about and tell you. I don't have it now. Knowing me, back in the day, I would like to sell those type of stuff. Adam Apollo, he's a really good. I think he strikes a note about the protons that's in the air. I believe that myself, because I think these things that's been flying around, the way they move, they create their own portholes. But there are bases. I think there are a lot of bases in California there. I remembered when you went to Malibu and you couldn't get down underneath, you couldn't get down further down where you wanted to go with your crew.
Right.
Yeah, I think there's something about that. I'm going to conclude on this note. I saw 2 lights at one time before this COVID thing. I was outside watching with my nice binoculars, and sure enough, I'm looking at about 67,000 feet. There was 2 nice bright lights. They were like flying horizontally, very fast. And Jimmy, you wouldn't believe this. I was looking at them. It was really nice, right? And poof, one just gone. And I'm talking about no clouds, just like starry night. And then all of a sudden, poof, it came back on. And I was going, what the heck is that all about? So I'm thinking if those were jets, because these are fast. From afar, you can really see them. They're really fast. But if they were close down on the ground, you won't see those things. They're that fast. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, and that's why I was thinking maybe Adam Apollo has got really these things come in and out for some reason. They can go somewhere and then poof, they come back here, or they can align themselves to where they want to go, or they can be here and they can be there. But I'm thinking though that they're probably matched with got to be a pair or 3, so they can do these things. Anyway, Jimmy, that's all I want to tell you. And have a good night, and say hello to Faders there.
Yeah, right on, Ray.
Yeah.
I really appreciate the phone call. Protons, if you go back to some of the comments that Adam made during that show, which, and one of them was how long they will exist. I think that in a general sense that there was a lot of thought over the years with physicists about some things would last forever. Well, lasting forever is a very long time. Okay. And then when we get to things like protons, and I mean, does light have mass? And does energy have mass? And proton, what makes up a proton? And how can it? I mean, will it last forever, or is there a point in time? And I'm talking about hundreds of trillions of years in the future, where just everything just breaks down. Everything, right? It will come, and I think that right now, I think that is where the thought is going. That it can't last forever, but would it restart? Okay, would it restart? Is there a cycle to all of this? And this goes back to what Adam was saying. So let's look at things like this. I'll get back to the phone calls here in a second. Whatever is out there has been there forever. Okay? All right. Forever. Back in time, it's going to be there forever into the future. Spent forever. Somehow, this universe that we are in was created. So in the spans of time that our minds, our human concepts, we don't have any way of relating to any of this, especially when our universe is 13.8 billion years old. And if we're talking about 1 trillion years, 1,000 billions, how much time that is. And so our universe is just a little blip. It's non-existent in forever time, right? So, but we were created and it started, right? Well, if everything that was created now goes away, why can't it restart? Or happen again, I should say. And then the protons that stopped existing, the gravity that is gluing electrons together restarts. And they get re-glued. And gases get recreated again, and hydrogen happens again, and all of these things, and the gases and the stars recreate. It's a cyclical thing. And that's the only way to look at it. So is there a forever? Our universe, the way that we understand it, if we look at it like this. So we build a starship that we put, say, 1 million people on, right? And it's totally self-sufficient. It's got an energy system on it that, I don't know what that would be, but let's say will last forever. We don't have to go search for stars. We've got some self-supporting fusion technology that we've got an energy system that will last forever. And we have the ability for food forever. We have the ability for everything on this craft. If it doesn't get hit by an asteroid or crashes, blows up, but theoretically that the starship will last forever, right? So we can cruise the stars. Our star system, our sun has already burned up a trillion years ago, right? And we are out there doing our things. Okay, all right. Now let's suppose that happens. At some point, the glue that is holding the atoms together for this spaceship and us stops. That the spaceship just turns into particles, dust, gone, us. That the particles of everything cease to exist. All right, so now where are we? Is it possible whatever happened with the Big Bang at that instant of nothingness, that you have something from nothing? And can it restart? I would say yes, and it happens all the time. Forever is a long time, right? And everything that is out there goes on forever. It does. I'm not talking about the universe. I'm saying what's beyond the universe. And there you go. So that's my take on that. And that's why where Adam is coming from, Adam Apollo, makes a lot of sense. It does. And I think this is where science is headed. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, this is Joseph Esposito from Tucson, Arizona.
Joseph Esposito from Tucson,
Yes.
Arizona.
Absolutely. How are you? This is so exciting.
How are you? I'm not as excited.
I'm great.
I'm not as excited as you are.
Well, I have a lot of energy, Jimmy. I've been listening to you for a while. I've had a very active mind since I was a child, asking big questions, making the adults uncomfortable at an early age, if you know what I mean.
I've made it my life's mission, actually. What's on your mind tonight, Joseph? What's going on?
I wanted to share something special. I'm 43 now. Basically, from the top down, I'm an entertainer myself. I'm a musician, so I'm pretty good with live situations. So I'm going to sum it up pretty nicely for you.
Okay.
After being a practitioner, I'm a certified Reiki master. I was a certified massage therapist for about 8 years. I worked with hundreds of people to resolve trauma. I understand the nervous system so well. Some of my mentors in the books that I've read, like Randolph Stone, Walter Russell, you were talking about the universe. You were talking about particles, right? Particles, language, epistemology. Where do all these things come from? I'm going to share with the rest of your audience where I've delineated it, all of this information, all this experience, all this. And, UFOs, that's how it all starts, because the archetypal resonance structure of the other in our subconscious leads us to it's a tether. That's what it is, Jimmy. It's what it does is it carries us. You're talking about the future and time. What I've discovered is the electrical universe theories. If you look at Walter Russell and the mechanics of the machine that we're in, it's a self-generative, like you said, toroidal mechanism. And we're neither here nor there, Jimmy. Our perception mechanism resides at the point of origin always. We are blinking in and out of counter space, and the physical reality that we experience is an actual physical experience. We have through our glands, we interpret these sensations, and they're electrical. They begin in the brain. The arc of the current is the arc of the covenant, Jimmy. Even all the religions and the spiritualities, the 33 vertebra, the 33 years of Jesus Christ, the sacred secretion when you tap the stone, the pineal is the master regulator that controls the current of these filaments that are passing through your nervous system. And I'll leave you with this, because I can go on forever, but I'll leave you with this. When you look up an image of a Birkeland current, is the scientist who discovered it, Jimmy, these are twin electrical filaments that span billions of light years, and they form the corkscrew, familiar fashion that we see, the archetypal resonance structure, that of DNA. And when you open your hands and your legs and you stand like in a jumping jack, right? The 0 point of your body, the fulcrum of your body is at the center of your body, your pelvis, where all motion begins from a wave axis, from a still point fulcrum. You'll look into all this with Walter Russell, but that's what it is. When you look at the DNA, it's the twin-coiled serpent up the caduceus, the ankh. The ankh is more appropriate as the cross from a biological electrical perspective, Jimmy, because of this. When you look at the arc, is the ankh. It includes the electrical arcing currents, the neuroses, the electrical neurons, the synaptic burst. Jimmy, the Big Bang that you said, the Big Bang is happening at the rate of quanta, or as Dan Winter would say, at the rate of Planck in your brain. The angels are the angles of light. When the cherubim or the cerebellum tap the stone, and the secretion of the sacred melatonin, vasopressin, and oxytocin, the nervous system, the caduceus, when we're in the hormone, Jimmy, that's the hormone in the garden. Wrestling with the serpent is the reptilian brain stem. The Socratics figured it all out, and a few people know, and this is why you see rapid transformation in those that go dielectric. Gravity, electromagnetism is dielectric inertia. The light that we see is radiative and explosive, but the generative charge comes from allowing, by meditating and self-imploding. You got to get Dan Winter on your show, and I love you. Thank you for letting me share. It came out beautifully. Thank you.
Thank you, Joseph. Great phone call right there. And here's the deal, Joseph from Arizona. Everything that he just said, I could sum it up much easier. Much easier. For every positive, there's a negative. Ones and zeros, black and white. That is it. That's it. That's it. It's electricity. It's what powers us. It goes all the way down to the smallest of atoms, and we could continue, smallest of particles, and we could continue with this conversation in any direction and say the exact same thing. That's it. Black and white, positive and negative. That's it. That's it. Electricity. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's the basis of everything. I know. It's that simple. That's it. And Joseph went down the list of and that list that he just went down could keep going. It's nearly infinite because it is everything. So that's it. For every positive, there's a negative. It's electricity. It's ones and zeros. It's a binary existence, dielectric, whatever, however you want to look at it. From the speaker cone in that guitar amp over there to the pickups on those guitars, to the neurons firing in my brain. It's all the same. That's it. It's really that simple. And when I've got to take a break right here, but before I get there, I used to make fun of this. When you see or hear something in a movie, it could be a TV series, it could be a documentary, it could be a comedy, it could be a drama, science fiction, one of the Harvest pictures with Bruce Lee, from China. And you hear somebody say these words, to go up, you must first go down, right? Yeah, right. And it applies to, to turn right, you must first turn left. And you hear this, and these masters, saying these things. But as funny as it is to hear and to make fun of, because I'll make fun of anybody that says that stuff in the movies. I'm not referring to Joseph. Joseph was spot on. Is that that is exactly everything. Everything is based on that. That's it. That's it. Scales, weight, electricity, positive, negative, binary, our existence, our thing. Everything is that. Light, waves. It's all that. Everything is based on that. And I used to just laugh at that when I was a kid. And I would go to school. I would watch some whatever, man. I would watch Kung Fu, the TV series or whatever. And I would go to school the next day, and I would say stuff like that all day long. To go to the cafeteria, you must first, I would just whatever it is, to go onto the playground. And I would and I realize now how deep those statements were, and that's it. There's no positive without a negative. That's it. There you go. Let's take our break right here. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. It's Thursday night. It is Fader night. It is open lines all night long. Jimmy, you can just have a chat. I'll be right back.
Hi everybody, this is Rob Halford, the Metal Guard on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Your 1 million gigawatt paranormal powerhouse, KUNX-DB, the X.
Are you ready to read about true paranormal events? UNX Media publishes nonfiction books about UFOs, ghosts and haunted places, time anomalies, cryptid creatures, and more. Just like KUNX-DB Radio, it's all about unexplained phenomena. Visit www.unxmedia.com to see our list of great book titles by Debbie Ziegelmeyer, Gene Walker, Devin Listrom, Wayne Lawrence, Bill Spicer, and yours truly, Margie Kay. That's unxmedia.com.
Life Change Tea has a great offer for you right now. The 3-pack special. Save $15 on their popular flavor pack of Super Tea. Get all 3 flavors, original, peppermint, and pomegranate. Life Change Tea tastes great. It's an all-natural, gentle cleanse with a unique blend of 12 herbs that helps keep your digestive tract clean, clear, and healthy. And it's so easy to make. Just brew, steep, refrigerate, and drink. Serve hot or cold. And 1 to 2 servings a day is all you need. You take care of the outside. Do the same for your inside. Life Change Tea is made right here in the United States and helps thousands feel their best. It's an important part of any daily routine. So go to getthetea.com/F2B. That's getthetea.com/F2B. That's getthetea.com/F2B.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I only drink Fade to Black blend coffee from River Moon. Just click on the River Moon coffee banner at jimmychurchradio.com. Promo code F2B blend.
This is the only way forward.
This is Fade to Black. Make contact.
This is Billy Carson, founder and CEO of Forbidden Knowledge, and we're heading to Egypt this October. Come join Jimmy Church, myself, and the Forbidden Knowledge team as we spend a week exploring Giza, the Great Sphinx, the Great Pyramid, Saqqara, Dashur, Aswan, Edfu, Dendara, Karnak, and we'll celebrate Jimmy's birthday in Luxor. The Forbidden Tour of Egypt is this October 5th through the 12th and includes a 4-day Nile cruise, expert Egyptologists, and a chance to explore Egypt with Jimmy and I as your host through your journey of a lifetime. Space is limited, so make your reservations now. Please visit forbiddenknowledge.com for information and complete itinerary. That's forbiddenknowledge.com.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and this year, June 18th, 2022, the Disclosure Fest Foundation presents the Mass Meditation Initiative. It's Saturday, June 18th from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., one day only at the Los Angeles State Historic Park in downtown Los Angeles, California, right next to Chinatown. I'm hosting the event again this year with music performances by Trevor Hall, The Desert Dwellers, Poran Ki, and many, many more on 4 separate stages. There's 16 stages in total, over 30 acres in downtown Los Angeles, with vendors and tents and presentations and workshops with Billy Carson, Adam Apollo, Lori Spagna, Laura Eisenhower, Brad Olson, David Palmer, and many, many more. It's all simple to do. Just go to disclosurefest.org for all of your tickets, information, and a full schedule of the day's events. Again, disclosurefest.org.
You want to know a secret? I love ponies. I really love ponies. I'm serious. I couldn't stay sane without ponies to brush.
Why fade to black? Because you never got that pony, damn it.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Thursday night, Fader night. Open lines all night long. Got a lot of calls on hold and been there for a while. 747-228-2051. And I just got this tweet in. Let's see. One was 11 minutes ago. This is from HH. And he says, hey, Jimmy, if you could own anyone else's guitar, whose would you want and why? Man, I would like I would like one of Eddie's original Frankensteins. That would be cool. Anyone, the one in the Jump video with the Kramer original headstock on it, says Kramer on it. That, that neck is long gone. That guitar's been rebuilt a million times, but man, that'd be a cool one to have. Anyway, so this tweet goes on. Should I get a red Jackson Dinky like the one you have? Oh, that one right there. Okay. All right. So that's what he's asking. Or Should I put my money towards an RG 550? I have a couple of RG 550s. I've got one right there. I can't get up and get it. And man, I thought I had a couple in here. I've only got the one. Okay, so I've got a red RG 550 hanging right there, which is also in this tweet. Go with the RG, man. All day long. Go with the RG. And if you want it in red, get it in red. They look good in that desert yellow. I don't like the purple ones. And they used to make them in white and they used to make them in black, but now they only have those 3 colors. So get the red one or the desert yellow, but RG 550s all day long. Not the cheapest thing in the world, but it's a perfect guitar. And there you go. So I just thought I'd answer that tweet. Let's go back to the phone, 747-228-2051. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy, it's Drew Banky.
Hey, Drew. How you doing, man?
Doing good, brother. It's been a busy day and just wanted to call in and update everyone. I was talking about maybe coming over to the X, and yeah, as of a few hours ago, it's official that I'll be on Sundays from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard on the X. So,
yeah, right on. Congratulations. That's cool.
Yeah, man. And, you know, it's a big, you know, this whole thing, like starting my show and everything is like a big lesson. Like when someone calls you, like you need to be able to step forward. Like when opportunities like open up, I think a lot of us like close off. So I wanted to share that realization with all the Fader Knots and everyone listening and everything, and give a little update of who I've got coming on, and just plug my show a little bit and just say hello to you, bro. That's it. So I got Billy Carson coming on Monday. That'll be my last show before coming on the X. I got Gerald Dean coming on the 8th, Brett Lauder coming on the 15th, Jess Rogie, and Dave Scott all coming up in May. So
yeah, right on.
Yeah, and I want to.
Right on. Well,
I want to need to get you on the show sometime. If you ever got 2 hours on a Sunday, want to come over and hang out with me, let me know, and I'll make time whenever. So.
All right. Well, good luck. Congratulations. And so this will be your first show. So I say this to everybody. Keep your foot on the gas and then talk to me again after 300 shows. Let me know how you feel then.
Because I hope I make it 300. I hope I make it 300 seasons. He says, man, that's just doing one. Let's see, 52. I just do it every Sunday.
Yeah,
52.
That's right. Do the math,
dude.
Yeah, it's a crazy thought. It's a crazy thought, and it's a lot of work, man. But it's rewarding, and you're going to learn a lot. And right now, Drew, you know nothing. You know absolutely nothing. And what I mean by that
totally
is,
agree. Totally agree.
Drew, hear me out. And what I mean by that is, a first podcast or a second podcast or a fifth podcast, it's wonderful. Go chase your bliss. It's a whole nother thing when you're 100 or 200 shows in and you go back and you think about coming on to Fade to Black, right? On this show, telling everybody to go check out your first or second or third podcast. And then you go back and listen to those podcasts and go, man, I knew nothing. Right. And so it's a long road. It's a long process. You get better every single day. Every show is better than your last one. And just good luck and just keep your foot on the gas, man. Don't stop. That's the only way you get better. All right.
I appreciate that, Jimmy, coming from you, man. I hang on every word because I mean you got it down pat, brother. I mean, shit, you're in like 1600s right now or something like that. Yeah.
I think so. I've lost count. I mean, when I have no idea how many shows I did on Coast. I have no idea how many TV shows I've been on. I have no idea about anything. I've lost count, and I don't focus
How
on.
many years do you think you've been recorded speaking?
I don't know. I just don't look at things like that, and I don't consider. I don't even think about it. And my focus is right now. This show, the one I'm doing right now, and next week. I never look backwards and or think about it. I don't. I have no idea how many networks I'm on. My focus is KUNX and this live broadcast. Everything else, the numbers, the things, the subscribers, this, the memberships, that. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. If people like the show, they're going to listen, and that maybe they'll come back and listen again. And the only way that I can be assured of that is that this show that I'm doing right now is the best that I can do, and the next one is going to be better. And that's all that I focus on. That's it. And I think any show host is going to tell you the same thing. You know, it doesn't matter what you've done in the past. Your next show is what is important. And that's it. That's it. So good luck, and everybody. Drew will be there. You said Sunday nights?
Yeah, Sunday 6 to 8 Eastern Standard. So
all right.
I got 2 hours.
All right.
But Billy's going to be on my show Monday. I think that'll be a last show, not on the X. But as of today, it's official. I been talking with Margie and Race for the past couple of days and got everything buttoned down. And
all right. Well, good.
So I just saw Kaz posted 1622 is the episode tonight. I was on last time I was on your show was 1499, and man, it's crazy to think that's been over 200 shows since then.
Yeah, I take your word for it. I take your word for it. All right, hey, Drew.
One more question, Billy. Jimmy, I gotta know. What's your drive, man? Like, is it to get for doing all this? Is it to get the message out? Like, is it to be? What is your overall drive? You know, it's not to make money. It's like, what is your overall drive?
To learn. I'm here to learn. That's it. That's why I do the show.
Awesome.
That's it. No secret. There's no secret. It's no secret. I'm here to learn. And that's it. And to have a conversation every night with somebody that I find interesting. And really that's it. And I plot out the show months in advance, and I have a little ebb and flow of what I'm currently researching and interested in, and I just kind of plot forward with that, and that's it. So that's part of this journey that I have been on, which again, I've never made any of this a secret. That and you can go and feel it, from the past. You can see where my mind is from month to month to month. What is it that I'm going through at that moment in time? And it could be anything. It could be life after death. It could be Egypt. It could be a UFO. I don't know. But you can see what I'm interested in at that point in time. And that's the journey that I've been on is this quest for knowledge and trying to get answers. That's it. That's if there's a secret, that's the secret. So good luck to you. And Sunday nights, welcome to the team, Drew. And there you go.
Well, I appreciate you, Jimmy. That's a scary endeavor, getting inside Jimmy's head any deeper than I am already. But I appreciate you, brother.
Thank you so much, Drew. Have a great night.
Yeah, have a good one there. You too, man. Later.
So that was Drew Banky. So I guess he just made the announcement. I didn't know anything about this, which is exciting. And he will be joining the X on Sunday nights, everybody. So there you go, Drew Banky. And that's awesome. That's awesome. And I've said this so many times. Talk to me after 200-300 shows. And you've got to get to that point, 100, if you're doing one a week, it's a slow process of growing. You've got to grow. You've got to grow. You've got to grow. You've got to get better. And the only way that happens is time behind the mic. Time behind the mic. Dave Schrader and I were talking about that last night. And there is an old quote, 10,000 hours. Look it up. Look up 10,000 hours. And to get good at anything, you need 10,000 hours. So if we go, I don't even know what the calculation is on this, but let's pull some round numbers up. Let's see here. 10,000, right? Okay. So let's clear that. Let's see. 2,500 shows divided times. Okay. So times 4. Oh, so right now, that's weird. I'm at 10,000 hours. I put in my 10,000 hours. And I'm not even close. So there you go. I'm at 10,000 hours. You got to get to that number, 10,000 hours. And so if you're doing one show a week, couple hours, and so that's 100 hours a year, how are you going to get to 10,000 hours? And what level? And that goes to guitar, singing, painting, sculpture, writing, acting, performing, whatever it is, your motorcycle stunt driver, right? 10,000 hours. A pilot, 10,000 hours, right? 10,000 hours, 10,000 hours. How do you get to 10,000 hours? Think about that. Put that in your mind. Put that in your mind. I'll never forget it when I was the director of the school that I was going to for broadcasting, and turned to me, and I thought I was ready for radio, right? After a year in school, and he goes, "Man, you need to intern, and 2 years. 2 years from now, you might be sort of ready." And I was like, "What? 2 years? 2 years? You mean I'm going to have to?" And now I know exactly what he was talking about. And yeah. And after I started this in 2008. Okay, 2008. I have no idea how many shows. Fade to Black, Drew just said 1,500. Okay, so 50, that's just Fade to Black. That's not everything else. And I don't even think I'm close. So 5 more years, I might feel pretty comfortable in my own skin. I don't know. Takes a while, man. So show number 1. I've never listened to an old episode of Fade, but yesterday's episode of Fade to Black, I haven't heard it. Will I listen to it? No, not ever. ever. It's gone. It's in the past. It was a good show, though. It was Dave Schrader. I remember that. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi there. This is Joel calling.
This is Joe?
Yeah, Joe.
Joel with an L at the end of it, Joel?
That's correct, yeah.
All right, man. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Northern Ontario, Canada.
Northern Ontario, Canada. What would be Northern Ontario, Canada? That's a lot of forest. That's a lot of woods.
I'm sure you're familiar with Toronto, where that's located.
Yes.
Not too far from Michigan.
Yes.
Yeah. So I was in Toronto before here, but yeah. So I'm about 8 hours north of Toronto right now.
8 hours north of. There's nothing 8 hours north of Toronto. You're.
Oh, there is.
8 hours north of Toronto. Man, I'm going to look that up on a map. Hold on for a second.
If you want to pull it.
Are you north of like Jonquière?
Here, I'll spell it out for you if you want to type it on the map.
Okay.
The town's name is EOCHRANE. That's Cochrane.
Okay. Say it again.
COCHRANE.
Cochrane, Canada.
Not Alberta. Make sure it's Ontario, because Alberta will be out west. We're in Ontario.
Okay.
There's 2 Cochranes.
I've got it right here. Are you near Mitford?
Yeah, not too far off. Yeah.
Okay. And you're 8 hours north of this?
Cochrane. Here, hold on. Let me pull up on the map.
I mean, you're 8 hours north. Yeah. No, I'm looking at it. Man, there's nothing there.
No, we're right by the Hudson Bay. So we are the furthest junction point if you're going by highway, by roadway, that you can get up north before taking a train or another means to get up to an Aboriginal reservation or something up further north towards the bay.
Man, look at that. Yeah, there's some little towns up there. There's a little
some tiny place.
Yeah, there's some stuff going on, but man. Okay, all right. What's on your mind tonight, Joel? What's going on?
All right. Trying to see where I can get started here. I guess I'll narrow it down to this. So I've been really intrigued a lot about the Lou Elizondo stuff that's been going on. I've been following this for quite some time. Well, obviously, I've been in the subject for about 20 years or so. But I do have a science background, so I've kind of retracted in the last 10 years, I'll say. But I've been getting really into it since Lou's been getting back on board, and I've been really interested in his recent interviews. I feel like he's kind of been vindicated from the whole Harry Reid thing that's going on. Or sorry, Gary Reid, apologies.
Uh-huh.
And I kind of just want to ask your opinion on this and ask what you thought about the fact that knowing that the oversight over most of the DOD, which Harry Reid was obviously in charge of when it came to military operations, policing, foreign affairs, things like that, knowing that he didn't know anything about the OSAP program and these types of programs, and knowing that Lou is a senior official inside of it, kind of poses a juxtaposition for myself in understanding how Lou is legally allowed to divulge certain information, knowing that even the person who's above him isn't the person who's approving it. So it makes me question who's in charge of the approval process for Lou Elizondo, for him to come out and say whether or not he's allowed to say this or say that. And I was wondering what you thought about that.
Yeah. Great question. But I've got one more question for you.
Sure.
How good is the fishing in Little Bell Lake?
That is a good question. Little Bell is a great lake. It's a nice big lake, but the issue with it is that we have a tiny airport right off the side of it.
Yeah, I see
so
it.
Unfortunately,
yes.
Yeah.
The airport runway nearly touches the shoreline there. I'm looking at it.
Exactly. So considering it's a smaller airport and we're in a smaller community, a lot of the planes a lot of the planes that land on the water. They don't land on the runway itself because the runway is so short.
Yeah.
So you're going to have small craft that come in, land on the water. So unfortunately, when it comes to fishing, it's probably not the best place. But we have a bunch of great fishing locations around here, though.
There's a lot
nothing like it.
Yeah. I can only imagine. And I'm looking at it on the map here. And Joel, please just laugh with me, okay? The runway is longer than the entire downtown of Cochrane. I'm looking at it on the map. I can see it right here. And
I'm sure
that's a tiny little town, but I'm sure you can order a pizza though, right? You got that going on?
We got Pizza Hut. We got Little Caesars. We have
really
Canadian chain pizza. Yeah, oh yeah. We got quite a few things around here. We got a lot of decent amount of fast food chains and things like that. No mall, no Walmart.
No, there's no. You got none of that going on. You got a Tim Hortons, I'm sure.
We got the Tim Hortons.
Okay, all right.
Hey, fun fact. Yeah, listen to this. Tim Hortons was born in my hometown.
In Cochrane.
He's the original, yes. So the idea, the conception of Hortons started here. So the whole chain, everything. If you look it up, he's born in Cochrane. That's what we're known for. So
there you go. Man, I've seen tiny towns, but that's a real one. But you got an airport. Okay, let's get back to Lou Elizondo for a second. With the revelations that started to surface a couple of weeks ago, and I don't have enough time to get into the accusations and why Reed was fired or why not or any of that. Okay, it's a whole nother show, and maybe Lou at some point will come on and talk about it. But the issues that Lou has had, and some of them I've raised on this program over the years, and Lou is well aware of all of that. But the issues that he has faced, and that goes back to who is telling the truth with Susan Goff. Is she telling the truth or not from the Pentagon? The lost emails, the deleted emails. Did Lou work for ATIP or not? Was he the director or not? Was he connected to that or not? Everything that he has been fighting about, and now these revelations surfaced about Reed. It kind of makes you go back and consider the battle that Lou has been fighting internally with the Pentagon and the Department of Defense, independent of this UFO UAP issue, which is actually off to the side, right? So all of this, which reflects back to his personal life, his family, his career, and the muddying of the waters and the tarnishing of his name. And he's been dealing with all of that. Meanwhile, still coming on Fade to Black. You know what I mean? Still out there fighting the good fight, when most people, probably myself, would go, you know what? This is not worth it. This is not worth the trauma that my wife and kids are going through, or what I'm going through in my career. I can just walk away from all of this and worry about my family and the other things that are important to me. And that's the part where you have to look back at Lou a little bit here and consider the big picture and what is actually going on. Because I can assure you that there isn't fame and fortune in what Lou is doing for this community. It doesn't exist. It's not there. And so why is he doing it, and why is he battling the frigging Pentagon, right? We're talking about the Pentagon here, and in a very public sense. So, Joel, I think that all of us, the critics, and I've been one with Lou, and I have a huge amount of respect for him. The other day, I've got to run to a commercial break, but I'll leave you with this, Joel, as you head over to Little Bell Lake and go do some fishing tomorrow, is this. I talked to Lou 2 days ago for 4 hours, okay? And we talked about everything but UFOs. The subject never came up. And I have a certain amount of respect for him, how he is wading through these very treacherous waters, and he's managed to somehow keep his wits about him. And I've got a huge amount of respect, you know. So let's see how this plays out in the years ahead, which I said 4 years ago about Lou, and I'm saying it 4 years later tonight on this show, Joel. And that's my take, and I feel pretty good about it.
No, I appreciate that, Jimmy. I appreciate your opinion on it, and I completely agree. Definitely with what's happened with the Reed stuff and all that. It's 100%, in my opinion, vindicated whether or not there's any skepticism behind Lou, and I feel like it's something that gave him credence to all the claims that he's been making. So,
yeah, there
somebody
you go.
who's going to be following forward, and I appreciate your opinion and your thoughts on that too.
Hey, Joel, Tim Hortons forever.
Large double.
That's what I'm talking about. You have a great night, Joel. Thank you so much.
You too, Jimmy. Have a good one.
I'll talk to you. Yeah, that's a great call. Cochrane, Canada, in Ontario. Look it up, and you'll see what I'm talking about. That's an amazing phone call right there. I got to take a break. Let's get this in. It's Thursday night. It's Fader night. It's open lines all night long. 747-228-2051. 747-228-2051. I am your host, Jimmy Church. On the Game Changer and UnX networks, this is Fade to Black. It's Thursday. It's Fader night. I'll be right back. Stay with us.
You're listening to Jimmy Church and Fade to Black on the X.
Hey, what up, y'all? It's your girl Vivica Fox here, and you are listening to my boy, Jimmy Church, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Despite popular opinion, reading a book will not make you smarter.
But listening to Jimmy Church will.
This is Billy Carson, founder and CEO of ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. ForbiddenKnowledge.tv is the fastest growing and one of the most watched networks in the world. I would like to personally invite you to check out our expanding library of TV, film, lectures, and special presentations. ForbiddenKnowledge.tv has over 6,000 videos covering lost history, health, UFOs, spirituality, and our future. We are committed to our community, and with my personal invitation, you can, right now, get your free 30-day membership at ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. Your own library of information starts today at ForbiddenKnowledge.tv.
Your 1 million gigawatt paranormal powerhouse, KUNX-DB, the X.
Are you ready to read about true paranormal events? UnX Media publishes nonfiction books about UFOs, ghosts and haunted places, time anomalies, cryptid creatures, and more. Just like KUNX-DB Radio, it's all about unexplained phenomena. Visit www.unxmedia.com to see our list of great book titles by Debbie Ziegelmeyer, Gene Walker, Devin Listrom, Wayne Lawrence, Bill Spicer, and yours truly, Margie Kay. That's unxmedia.com.
When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Yes, Rivermoon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Just click on the banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today.
This is Billy Carson with ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. Forbidden Knowledge TV has just reached its 1-year anniversary. That's right, 1 year. And as a show of appreciation, we are giving all new subscribers a free 30-day trial of ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. That's 30 days to binge watch thousands of movies, documentaries, conferences, workshops, lectures, yoga classes, meditation courses, and so much more. So log on to forbiddenknowledge.tv from your computer or mobile device, or get the Forbidden Knowledge TV app on Apple TV, Roku, Amazon, iTunes, or Google Play today and use coupon code 30days free. That's coupon code 30 days free on forbiddenknowledge.tv today.
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
Erica, Brittany, Gabby, and you're listening to JamieChurchRadio.com.
It's not a lifestyle we chose. We were born this way.
This is KJCR at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Welcome back. Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Thursday night, Fader night. Open lines all night long. And I was looking at the chat that is going on right now. And Christina Gomez pops in. And everybody wants to talk about ramen. and it's this. I'm just laughing. Is this? After our show today with Christina, it was a great show. I had ramen. What is Christina's in our heads, man? She's in our heads. So I signed off of the show. I backed out. Christina will tell you. When I'm done with it, I'm out, leave studio, done, right? I'm out. I'm not, Christina and I aren't talking. We're not on the phone. We're not doing, her show's probably continuing. But I raced out. I was like, man, I got to have ramen. What is wrong with me right now? And I went and made beef ramen. Yeah, just the normal whatever, right? And I had fresh shrimp, and I sautéed that in butter with a lot of black pepper, some red chili flakes, and a little splash of garlic salt. I've got that going. I've got the ramen cooking. I'm sautéing the shrimp. I pull the ramen out. It's done. Shrimp is ready, and right in with the butter and everything, just right into the ramen and stirred that in. And man, I mean, what is it about? I don't know what it is. This satisfaction that you get out of that. And normally at that part of the day, I'm going to get back to the phones here in a second, I promise. And normally in that part of the day, I'm planning my dinner right after Fade to Black. That's where I'm at. And I slammed the ramen. I murdered the ramen. It was so good. And anyway, and I've got this show to do. And that's when like I told you earlier, that's when I got the text and the phone conversation with Pat Wilkins about the new guitar. And I'm ramenized, and I was just in this perfect frame of mind. Ramen. What is it? I mean, something so simple. That package of ramen cost 20 cents. Right? 20 cents. and it's perfection. And so anyway, just watching Christina and this conversation going up and down about ramen. Anyway, so back to Joel and Canada, Cochrane, Canada. There was this plane trip that I took, and I've probably told this story before on the show. I must have. And where I flew from Saskatoon to Regina. And if you go and look up Saskatoon, you look up Regina, and you can see the plane flight. It was a small little private plane, twin engine, and I got to sit up front with the pilot and fly through. But anyway, looking out the window, and I just never forgot this about Canada. Looking out the window for this 2-3 hour flight, whatever it was, and looking out over the plains of Canada at the expanse of just nothing. I'm looking at herds of animals and things running around wild, and no roads, there's no houses, there's nothing there. And just going across, and you get an appreciation for Canada at that point. You do. And you land in Regina, in this town in the middle of nowhere. Beautiful town, beautiful people. But what is around them? I mean, you could literally drive for hours and not see anything but nature. And so that's why when I talk, I get somebody on the phone like Joel and talking about he's 8 hours north of Toronto. I love that. I just love that whole idea behind that. So I just wanted to share that with everybody. And that's why I was kidding around with Joel, because I love that. I love Canada. I love everything about that country. And it's right here. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy, it's Rooster, 900 hours south of Toronto.
Okay, 900 hours south. What's on your mind tonight?
Yeah.
Man?
Oh, nothing much. I got more than 2 minutes this time around. This is great. Hey, before I forget, a while back you had said something about getting a strike on the tube for a Fade to Black episode, and then you took about 10 more down. If you don't want to talk about it on the air, that's cool. But do you think you could maybe tweet out the episode numbers or something to let everybody know which episodes those were?
I have. Okay, so say that again. You said I said something.
You had an episode taken down off of YouTube. And then you said you pulled a few more just to be safe.
Oh, that was about, you're talking about 3 or 4 months ago, right?
Yeah, it was a while back.
Yeah, 3 or 4 months ago.
Any way you could get everybody the episode numbers and everything? I'm sure you don't want to talk about them and everything, the whys and whos and wherefores, but
yeah, I don't want to. Now this is the thing with that. I can't do it now because I don't know. Right? I don't know. I would have to go and look and episode numbers and things. I could cross-reference all of that back into our podcast or the membership area where the membership numbers are there. If that's what you, so you only listen to the show on YouTube and you're wondering what shows were removed.
Which episodes were taken off.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I can't say the name or anything like and the reason why I can't is because, man, they have this automation system that flags certain things. And I'll be straight with you, Rooster. When that popped up and I got this warning letter, and in the warning letter, now I have a representative for Fade to Black that works at YouTube, right? So if I have any issues, I can directly reach out to YouTube. I also have a management company that runs my YouTube channel. I actually don't do anything with YouTube except broadcast. Everything else beyond that, moderation, this, that, things. No, I have a management company that deals with everything. I don't know anything about YouTube. But when this warning letter came in and I saw it, and it literally said, one more time and your channel will be removed. And I'm looking at this, and I sent this over to the management company. They said, "Okay, we'll deal with this." I said, "Well, Matt, in the meantime, I'm pulling all this stuff down." They literally and the management company said, "Okay, we can do that for you." I said, "Okay, but this is nuts." No community guidelines, you've been warned. This happens 2 more times. Okay. No, it was like this crazy letter. And
cutthroat.
And it was just felt weird to me. And no, there isn't. See, here's the thing. And this is why it's scary. Innocent till proven guilty, right?
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that what? Isn't that our? Isn't that
like they don't even give you a chance to explain or ask questions? It's just one more time and you're done.
That's it. That's it. And
it was an old episode, right?
I'm not going there. I'm not even going there. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
It is their company, right? And as upsetting as it is, and it's a crazy feeling that you get from this, honestly, I get it. And here and let me give you an example, Rooster. Here's an example that we're all used to. You go into a restaurant and it says, we refuse, we have the right to refuse service to anybody, right? There's a sign right there. They don't have to, it's their restaurant. They don't have to serve you. Or you walk into a store and it says no shoes, no shirt, no service, right? You got to put on, you want to go in and buy a Coke, put on your shoes and put on a shirt, right? Right. And so you're used to that. And then when it comes to something like YouTube or whatever, these are their companies. They're not yours, right? And you have to play by the rules and whatever those rules are. And it doesn't matter, what it is. Like the chat room on YouTube, right? I have the right, and my moderators have the right to go and block anybody. You don't have the right to come into our chat room and hang out. It's a privilege, but you don't have a right, right? You don't have a right to follow me on Twitter and say whatever you want. You don't have a right to come into my Facebook world and make comments. I can block you. I can block you, right? And you know what?
Right.
Twitter has the right, and Facebook has the right, and YouTube has the right to block me, right? So it goes up. You see how it goes up the food chain, right? So you have you can mute or block or do or this or that or whatever you want in your social media world, and you live with that comfort. If somebody says something that offends you and you don't dig it, whatever it is, it doesn't even matter, but you can block. Well, they have the right to block me. And so you've got to play within those rules. You got to stay in bounds or go start your own YouTube channel. That's the alternative. And that's it. And it was really strange. So I go back to the point where innocent until proven guilty. Well, that's the justice system. But YouTube doesn't have to play by that rule. That's it. Right. And it's so funny to me, Rooster, when you have something like, the president of the United States gets his account blocked. The president. Right? Who am I?
I mean,
who am I to that? And so if that can happen, it can happen to anybody. And they don't have to have a reason. And in those cases, maybe they will give you a reason. In this letter that I got from YouTube, they didn't give me their reason. They didn't. They literally said, we removed a video of yours. If we do it again, your channel will be removed without warning. That was the letter. And without reason. So that was it. Everything that was involved with this particular person and subject was absolutely removed from our YouTube channel. That's it. You got to play by the rules. And I don't know what the rules are. I don't know. Right?
Yeah, it makes it a little more difficult.
It does. And it's a scary thing. And you know why I'm not being soft, right? Where I some reactionary thing and I just caved in. That's
You
not
didn't have a choice. They just took it down.
But what's more important is being able to have this show for the listeners every single night. Right. And so what am I going to make a stand here and then have my channel removed and all the content gone and the ability not to do this show for everybody on YouTube? Look, we're on all kinds of other platforms. The show's going to continue. It's on our website. It's going to continue. But here's what's important. There are people that go to YouTube for this. Right. And they are YouTube people, and that's what they do. Will they go and seek out Fade to Black on other platforms? Probably not. They'll just go and listen to something else because it's a YouTube world for them. I have people that only go to TalkStream Live. I have people that only go to KUNX. That's where they go. Right. I have people that only go to iHeartRadio or Spotify or Apple Podcasts, where this show broadcasts on all of those platforms. TuneIn, for example, or our website. But that's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about the people that just go to YouTube, right? And if I'm removed, well, it would never happen. But let's say I'm removed from Apple or Spotify, or maybe I remove myself from my own website. Will they go and seek out this program? Some will, but some will just go to something else where they invest their time and go and listen to the show. And so am I worried about it? I am. I don't want to lose Apple. I don't want to lose KUNX. I've got a great relationship with them. But if I'm off of KUNX or TalkStream Live, there are too many other things to listen to there. Right? You see what I'm saying? Right. So everything is important. And YouTube, yeah, it's a small slice of our pie. It's very small. The listeners that we have on YouTube, it's fun, but it's small. We also have Vimeo, and we have YouTube is a very
you
small.
got a lot of reach, but still it's probably a significant portion, of people that catch you there. Or if you weren't on there, some people wouldn't find you.
Well,
some people might have just found you through YouTube.
Yeah, that is correct. And here's another part of that is we have a pretty significant number of our listeners that only listen to our membership, right? They don't listen to the live show. They wait for the remember, and they go and they wait for the membership that uploads after this show, and that's commercial free. Or on Libsyn, our podcast, and that's commercial free. They don't. They listen to the show the next day when they're driving to work. Right? They're not here live. They're in bed, right?
Yeah.
So, and that's important to me to make sure that whatever platform, whatever your choice is, that you are going to get it and continue to get it. And that's why with YouTube, man, I tapped out. I tapped out immediately. It's just it's too important for those that listen to this show on YouTube to continue to get this show, and that's it. So and thank you for this phone call, Rooster. It's probably the most important phone call of the night. Why I make sure that I have a big team of people that work and make sure that this show continues every night. It's not me. It's not a one-man band, but every single one of those little, slivers of the pie, right? Little slices of the pie continue, because that's where people go. That's their little comfort zone, and that's what they're used to every day, and they're in their routine. So, yeah, thank you for that. And maybe I'll post something up on Twitter that won't get me, banned for life.
Yeah, just maybe the numbers of the episodes or something. Oh, there's about 40 different things I wanted to ask you and everything, but one I want to touch on. Are you familiar with the pyramid hovering over the Kremlin and the pyramid hovering over the Pentagon videos?
Yep.
Do you know if anybody's ever asked Elizondo about that? I know the one over the Pentagon came out in like 2018, so he was no longer with ATIP, but has anybody asked Elizondo if he's seen those, what he thought about those? Or
well, I've only got 60 seconds left, Rooster. Let me flip this back around to you. Do you think those videos are legit? Now, I've watched them. I've watched them many times. The Pentagon, the pyramid over the Pentagon. You can go and find it.
The guys in the cab going around and around, and when you see the cabbies even looking out and trying to record it and everything, it just makes it like that part. And then the one in the DC had multiple people all catch it and just what they're saying, but the cab ride where they're going all around and just like is it still there, this and that, because it was so dark, and just I get a sense that something was going on there. And again, with the hatchet job that has been done on UFOs and ufology and the debunking through all the years that's done on it, like it's everything's debunked so easily with like, oh, UFOs aren't real. You must be a loony to think that. And there is so many fakes out there, but that one's just there's something about those videos that just man.
Yeah, I know. Really... they got my attention too. And if you go back, there is I can't remember the name of it anymore, but it was like UFOs over Jerusalem, over the Temple Mount or something. And
that one, people are saying really is fake.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah. And so a lot of views on that, right? And I remember, I think I heard about it first from like Art Bell. And I went and looked at those multiple locations, multiple camera views on this. And I remember the first time that I saw it, I was like, man, what? And then it got debunked, and the people that made the videos came out and spoke about it. But that happened immediately after those videos were released, a couple of months later. The Pentagon and the Kremlin pyramid videos haven't been debunked.
Yeah, that like there's something about those that really.
Yeah. I'll have to go.
And I'd like to hear what Elizondo has to say about that.
All right. I'll see what I can do. And Rooster, with that, I got to get out of here, man. Great phone call. Thank you so much, and enjoy your weekend, my man.
Jimmy. Keep doing what you're doing.
I'll talk to you, Rooster. It's a great phone call right there. And I just left a ton of people on hold, but I just like talking to people. That's what I like to do on Thursday nights here on Fade to Black. And I'm going to go back. Somebody get those videos up in Twitter and save me some time. Allow me to go and watch the Pentagon pyramid video and the Kremlin pyramid video. Great night on the show tonight. Thank you to everybody that called in. Fade to Black is produced by Hilton J. Palm, Renee, Dennis, and Kevin. Announcers are Steve Harder, Gene Vitoa, Mark D. Kovar. Webmaster is Drew the Geek. Music, Doug Aldrich. Intro, Spaceboy. SpaceboyMusic.com. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network. This broadcast owned and copyrighted 2022 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network, Inc. It cannot be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Great night, great Thursday, great calls. I'll see everybody on Monday. But until then, I want everybody to be safe. It's time to fade to black.